Hello my friends and welcome back to another monthly reset routine. I truly hope that October was a beautiful month for all of you, and if it wasn't, I'm hoping that November is going to be a better month for you. I am currently sick, my throat is killing me, but today is the only day that I have this free time to film my monthly reset routine, so I gotta film it today. So I made myself a warm cup of tea and I'm just hoping that this will soothe my throat a bit, but it is just the season that a lot of people get sick, So go ahead and make yourself a warm tea or a coffee and let's sit down and talk about our October goals. Let's set goals for the new month. Let's talk about the books that we read during October. I have some of the books that I read right here. We will of course create a mood board. A monthly reset routine is not complete if I don't create a new mood board for the new month. And of course I will also share my monthly favorites with you. So without further ado, let's open up my goals notebook and check out my October goals to see how I did. Alright, so my first goal was to read 5 books, which I am very happy that I did manage to do. My next goal was to learn the tools in my new job. If you missed my previous monthly reset routine, I recently got a new job. I work as a dentist's assistant. I'm still a freelance beauty tutor, but I also work at the dentist, and over there we have a lot of tools obviously, and I wanted to become more familiar with them and learn them better. So when the doctor is asking for a tool, I know which tool it is, and I have to say that I have already learned so much, and I feel like it also has to do a lot with the doctor because she's very nice and she's very helpful. She's trying to explain everything to me and she wants me to learn. She's not, just leaving me on my own and being like, whatever, figure it out. She's very nice and she's very helpful. My next goal is to be more grateful and practice gratitude. I will be honest, I don't remember catching myself being that grateful, and maybe this was a weird kind of goal to set because what I meant was that I wanted to be grateful in my mind, in my head. I wouldn't write down on my gratitude journal. I just wanted to feel grateful about this new period of my life and about this new chapter of my life. And even though I was not ungrateful or anything, I still don't remember catching myself having that nice feeling of gratitude, if you know what I mean. So I don't think that I did that. My next goal was to bake vegan cinnamon rolls, and even though I didn't bake vegan cinnamon rolls, I did end up baking cinnamon rolls, so I did achieve this goal. I also filmed baking the cinnamon rolls. I will have that vlog linked down below in case you haven't watched it. My next goal was to have a zero spent week, which I didn't do. October is not over yet, but I feel like I'm not going to achieve this goal. No. And I normally achieve my zero spent weeks, but this month I feel like I was spending money every week, and even though it might not have been a huge amount of money, it was still a little coffee there, a little sandwich to get to work because I was hungry, so I did end up spending money every week. And my last goal was to watch a Halloween movie, and I want to say that I did achieve this goal, even though I don't know if the movie that I watched is considered necessarily Halloween, but because it is a bit whimsical and witchy, I feel like it is a nice cozy movie for Halloween. And the movie that I watched was Kiki's Delivery Service. It was the first time that I watched the movie. It was very cute. It was not creepy, scary, or anything like that. A lot of you had recommended me to watch Hocus Pocus, but I was not able to find it online and watch it. I don't have Disney Plus, and I think that I would have been able to watch it at Disney Plus, and I just didn't find it online, so I ended up watching Kiki on Netflix. I truly apologize that I'm so low energy, but I really can barely speak, but I'm pushing through. I will film this video. I love my monthly reset routines. I know that you love them as well, so I'm not gonna let you down. We're filming this video today. So let's write down our November goals. I already have a few ideas about my November goals. Alright, let's go through my November goals. My first goal is to deep clean my apartment. During November, for a few days, I will have family visiting me and they will be staying over at my apartment, so I want to make sure that everything is nice and clean. The next goal is to do a book on haul and a book donation. There are a few books that I'm not planning on reading again, and I didn't really enjoy reading them, so I feel like it's better for me to unhaul them and give them to the secondhand bookstore. Because I didn't like a book, that doesn't mean that someone someone else won't enjoy it and won't love it. And I'm just hoping that the books that I will donate will find a good home, a person who will enjoy reading them, and I'm hoping that these books will get some love because they didn't get love for me. My next goal is to read 5 books. So 5 books again. I'm seeing that even though my routines have changed and I am busier now, I still managed to read 5 books for October. So I'm very optimistic for November as well. And I'm aiming again for 5 books. The 4th goal is very exciting. Decorate for Christmas. I am the type of person who decorates towards the end of November, and I cannot wait to decorate and make my apartment all cozy. And it just feels like yesterday when I was decorating for 2023. And it feels also like yesterday when I was putting the Christmas decorations down. I just feel like time is moving so fast. It is insane. The years just fly by. It is crazy, and you see it's time again for me to decorate. So this is a very exciting goal. I would love to know when you are decorating. Are you the type of person who decorates during November or during December? My next goal is to stretch every day. I used to be very good with stretching. I used to stretch every single day, every morning specifically. But the past few weeks, I want to say, or even months, I haven't been stretching every single day. And I feel like whenever I stretch, my body feels way better. So I want to make it a goal and a priority to stretch every single day. And even if I don't stretch in the mornings, I could stretch before bed or in the afternoon or whenever I just have free time, because it just takes only a few minutes. It's nothing hard or time consuming. So I shouldn't be lazy, and I should make sure that I stretch, because stretching is very important, especially as we get older. And my final goal is to get my annual dentist checkup. I personally go to the dentist once a year. I have been advised that I should go once a year. I'm not telling you that you should go once a year. Maybe some of you need to go more frequently. My phone rang and I forgot what I was saying, but it is time for me to get my annual dentist checkup, just to check that everything is okay, and also to do a teeth cleaning. I know that some people do it once a year and some people do it twice a year. I have been advised to go once a year, and yes, as I was saying, maybe you have been advised to go to the dentist more often. So we'll probably get my checkup at the dentist that I'm working at right now. That would be convenient, maybe one day after my shift or something. But these are my November goals. I would love to know some of the goals that you will set for yourself for November. So don't forget to leave them down in the comments. So let's have a look at my November mood board. I think that it is very pretty, but then again, I always love the mood boards that I create. They get me so excited for the new month. They just make me happy, and I always use them as my laptop's wallpaper. And it is just so pretty to look at and to have just a new wallpaper every month to look at. Basically, it keeps me inspired and it keeps me motivated. So the first picture I chose because, of course, it represents fall and the fall walks that I want to take, to get coffee, to get a pastry, just to romanticize my cozy fall days. It had been a while since the last time that I added a fitness-inspired picture on my mood board, so that's why I chose the second picture. I'm very much still focused on working out with my dumbbells and trying to become stronger. The third picture I chose because I'm planning, of course, on visiting bookstores during November. What else is new? And I wanted a cute little bookstore for my mood board. Then the fourth picture I chose because the girl, first of all, is wearing a very nice cozy knit, and I love cozy, fluffy, oversized knits for fall and winter. But I specifically chose this picture because I like her shoes. I don't know if they are Uggs or not, because I feel like this type of shoe is the most popular from the Ugg brand, and I want to buy this type of shoe, but not Uggs, because they are just very expensive and it really cannot justify me spending that much money on a pair of shoes. So we'll try to find similar shoes from a different store, because I feel like this type of shoe is going to be very warm for winter when I will be out and about, maybe waiting at the bus stop to go to work. I am the type of person who gets very easily cold, and especially my feet get very cold. So I want to get this type of boots because I feel like they will keep my feet warm. The next picture, of course, will represent all the cozy reading that I will be doing during November. Then I chose this quote, which says, "To anyone who's ever felt lost in a wood, there is a strange sort of finding in losing." This is actually the dedication by the book Two Twisted Crowns, which is the second book in the Separate King duology. I recently read One Dark Window and I loved it. It was such an excellent book. And during November, I will be reading Two Twisted Crowns. So that's why I chose this quote dedication to have in my mood board. And of course, the last picture obviously represents me decorating for Christmas. I seriously cannot wait to decorate. My ornaments are white, pearly white, and I love that type of aesthetic. But this picture has some red ornaments, as you can see, and I honestly really love red ornaments as well. They're classic, they're cute, and I just feel like we cannot go wrong with red ornaments. They are the cutest. So this is my mood board for the month of November, and let's go through the books that I read during October. I need another tea. I'm almost done with this, and it is also cold now, and I need a warm cup of tea. I'm just looking at myself at the viewfinder and I feel like I look so sick, but it is fine. I will get better. So let's go through the books that I read during October. I have my little pile right here. There are also, I think, a couple of books or one book that I read on my Kindle. Yes, there is also one book that I read on my Kindle. So the book that I read on my Kindle is called Children of Fallen Gods, and it is the second book in the War of Hearts series. It was really good. I'm just really into this story and these characters. I find the whole plot very captivating, and I just love our characters. They are very strong, badass. They have been through a lot. Obviously, in fantasy books, characters are going through it. They're going through everything. And I gave that book 4.75 stars. So it was really close to getting a 5-star. Really close. I'm currently reading the third book in this series, third and final book, and I cannot wait to see how this trilogy will end. If you haven't read the War of Hearts trilogy, don't sleep on it. It is also on Kindle Unlimited. It is really good. The second book I read is Welcome to the Hyeongnam-dong Bookshop, which I really loved. I gave it 4.5 stars. I felt like this book had so many good messages and so many good quotes in it. I feel like that no matter your phase in life, you will find something in here that will make you feel seen and that you can relate to. I started annotating this book from one point after, and I really wish I had started annotating this book from the start because it just had so many good quotes. I will read you one, just a random one, and it says, "A life surrounded by good people is a successful life. It might not be success as defined by society, but thanks to the people around you, each day is a successful day." Exactly. If that ain't true. So this was a really good book. It doesn't have a crazy plot or anything, but still, it just leaves you feeling warm and fuzzy inside, and you just sit there and think about your life. I like these type of books that make me think about life, about my life, about how I am living, about how we are all living as a society. I just love this type of books, so I highly recommend. The next book which I read and I loved and I gave 5 stars to is One Dark Window. This storyline, this plot, the magic system, the characters, everything was perfect. This book had everything that I'm looking for in a fantasy book. It pulled me into the story within the first few pages. I was invested in the characters, in the story. I wasn't bored at all, not even for 1 second. I am under the impression that this is a debut novel from this author, which is incredible for a debut novel. If you haven't read One Dark Window, I of course highly recommend this book as well. I am in love with Elspeth and Raven, our two main characters. I feel like the romance is also really good, but the whole book has such a beautiful energy. It is dark, it is gothic, it is paranormal. I felt every single page and every single chapter to my core. I could imagine the energy of every scene. The next book I read was low-key a disappointment, and it was The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Listen, it was not bad. It was not a bad book. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. Yeah, 3.5 stars. I liked our main characters. They were cute. I loved the romance. The spice was too much for me. We had spicy scenes from the very beginning of the book, and they were plenty. So if that is your cup of tea, you will love this book. But for me, it felt a bit too much. And also the thing that made me feel a bit disappointed was that this book had almost zero fall energy to it. I was expecting more fall and cozy descriptions, and we didn't get that. But now I am wondering, is this a full book or is it just an end of the summer book? Because it just felt like an end of the summer book. But then again, the cover looks like fall, doesn't it? It gives you that full energy, but the book itself didn't do that. So I gave it 3.5 stars. I will definitely be continuing with this series because this is part of the Dream Harbor series, and this was book number 2. And I just feel like the first book, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, was way better. The next book I read was The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. This was warm, this was cozy, it was witchy and whimsical and cute. I loved the found family element of this book, I loved our main character, and I loved how all of our characters felt so different and unique. This is definitely a very nice full read and a perfect read to pick up closer to Halloween as well, because obviously it has to do with witches and I wanted to read something witchy that wouldn't be scary, and this just hit the spot for me. I ended up giving this book 3.75 stars, and if you're on the lookout for a full witchy read, I highly recommend this one. The next book that I read, which was a little bit of a disappointment as well, it was not bad, but I had really high hopes for it. It is A Crimson Moth. I was hoping that this would be a 5-star read for me because reading the synopsis and just hearing about the premise of the book from other videos, it just felt like this was going to be my type of book and that I would give it 5 stars. And it was my type of book, but I felt like the writing was a bit juvenile at some points, and also the plot was very predictable. There were a couple of plot twists in here, and I was not shocked because I was expecting them. I had heard a lot of people say, oh my god, the ending of this book, we are shocked, we cannot deal, this is crazy. What is crazy? I was expecting this ending. Maybe one thing happened that I was not expecting, but other than that, I straight up expected this ending and I knew that this was going to happen. I feel like one of the plot twists, I think that I can call it the biggest plot twist in the book, it was so obvious almost from the beginning of the book. So I feel like maybe this is for a younger audience. I mean, obviously this is YA, but I feel like there are some YA books that the writing doesn't feel juvenile and that the plot is not predictable and that it is just a good time. This was a good time. Don't get me wrong, I love Rune. Is that her name? Yes, I love Rune, and I also love, what is the guy's name? Gideon, and I'm really excited about the second book. I have some questions that need to be answered, specifically one. So I don't have a lot of questions, I have one. And I'm just hoping that our characters are going to have a happy ending. I'm pretty sure that they will. But it just didn't hit the spot the way that I was hoping for. And we're closing off my reading month with a major disappointment. I was so excited for this book, guys. Better than the movies. I was so excited. Some of my favorite booktubers were hyping this up. I was like, yes, I want a good romance, a good teen romance, so I can reminisce my teenage years and just have that nostalgia and feel again what it's like to be a teenager. But oh my god, the main character, Liz girl. I feel like our girl has a lot of issues to solve. She's young, she can still solve them. She has trauma, she's grieving. I feel for her. But she was a bit annoying at some parts, a bit irritating. She was treating people in her life a bit not nicely, let's say. But then again, she's going through grief. I respect that. It just also reminded me of what it was like to be a teenager and trying to bend yourself backwards to be liked by a guy. That just made me mad. That pissed me off. I'm just being too strict here. We had all been teenagers at one point and we did things that we shouldn't have done, and we tried to impress a guy that we shouldn't even glance at back then, but we did. So girl Liz, I get it girl. But Wes, the main male character here, the cute little Wes boy, I liked. If I was back in high school, I would be crushing on Wes. And also Liz has a stepmom. Can I say that, or is it a spoiler? I don't think that it is a spoiler. I'm just gonna say that her stepmom I liked also, and Liz was not treating her very nicely. She was also not treating her best friend very nicely. She needs help. And I just didn't enjoy this book. I feel like it doesn't have to do with the fact that it is about teenagers, because for example, my all-time favorite K-drama is 25-21, and the main characters are supposed to be young and teenagers, and that K-drama is just a masterpiece. That K-drama does give me that nostalgia and reminiscing about my teenage years and just remembering what it was like to work hard for your goals back then as a kid and having dreams and trying to understand the world. But this book just felt flat. It just felt like a predictable teen rom-com, and I mean, that's probably the point of the book. And I'm just being a hater. I'm such a hater. I am sick. Do not listen to me. If you want to read it, go ahead and read it. I will be personally unhauling this book though, and I won't be reading any other books by this, not author, but by this couple, because I think that there is a second book out now with this couple, and I'm not all about that storyline. I feel like these two are not going to get married and stay together forever. They're not. They're just not. And let's talk about my favorites. They're not plenty, they're just a few songs and my new Kindle. So I will have the songs on the screen because I feel like I cannot speak any longer. My throat is killing me, so I will have the songs that I have been listening to non-stop on the screen. I love these songs. Guys, if you take one thing from this video, go listen to these songs. They are chef's kiss. So go listen to the songs. And like I said, my other favorite is my Kindle. I love my Kindle. It is so much fun reading on my Kindle. I'm reading while I'm eating and I'm not scared that I will mess up my book. I'm reading on my bed, which is so comfortable, and it is dark and I don't need to turn on the lights. It is cozy. I'm just obsessed with my Kindle, and I know that they have some new releases now, or they will be released in 2025. I'm not sure, but I'm really satisfied with this Kindle. I don't think that there is any point for me getting the newer version. Like I mentioned, the book that I'm reading right now on my Kindle is the last book. You didn't even see the cover. Let me show you again. It is the last book on the War of Hearts trilogy. Oh my god, it's called The War of Lost Hearts, not The War of Hearts. So this is the book that I'm currently reading on my Kindle, and I am loving it, both the book and the Kindle. So guys, this was my messy, sick monthly reset routine. I truly hope you enjoyed it, and I apologize for me being this way today. I feel like I was not my usual perky, positive self. I was a hater today, wasn't I? I would love to know how October was for you. Let me know some of your new goals for November. Maybe you could also let me know some of the books that you read during October and some of the books that you want to read during November. Also let me know when you are decorating. November, December, when will you be decorating? I always love reading your comments, and that would be all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye friends!